want us to say our names so you
Yes,
have it?
done.
Okay. 7 PM, the meeting is open. Dennis Clark, Chair. Craig.
Craig Samuelson.
Dave Spina.
David De DeLore.
Russ Fox.
John Stednicky.
Mr. Horacek had a family obligation, so he can't make it tonight.
There you go. So I guess the first thing, Russ, do you want to, about the change of membership, do you want to get
Yeah,
that?
I mean, Mike Shields has submitted it.
Resignation.
We will take, the Board of Selectmen will take a vote to accept his resignation. And then we have your paperwork, or Cindy must have it.
Yes, I sent it to Cindy.
So then we can appoint. So we'll have a back up to a full board again. And we're lucky because we got 3 people that were here the last time. So you
Only
can,
3 people.
well, you're gonna help the 3 rookies.
But just for clarification, Cindy, we call her Sid, just so we don't get her confused with
The other Cindy.
Sandra.
Okay,
The Cindy
okay.
Sandra.
Okay, so Sid, you got it.
Minutes, we got minutes?
Yes,
Get the minutes.
Oh,
that's the original.
that's the original.
Yes, so they should be in your packet.
Oh, okay, and you hang on to those.
All right, thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, there's it's Cartographics, where it says Carter Graphics,
Cartographics.
Carta Graphics.
Yeah. It's
Do you know how that's spelled, Russ?
Carta, yeah. We can check with the assessors, they have a contract with the assessors. But it's Cartographics, don't ask me how it's spelled. Motion to approve as amended?
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Now, I don't think we're gonna get to review all the comments from departments right at this meeting unless you want to, but you can, take those home and look at them because there's an ongoing process for sure. And as more comments come in, I think I will incorporate them into the work in progress and I can put them in different color so that we know which ones are from who. And Sid, you printed out a copy of the
Yes, would you like to see it?
highlighted version.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I go this pretty quick through this. Of course, all the stuff at the beginning have to be redone to reflect the current people on the board, the times, the dates. And Pioneer Valley is no longer going to be in this, so we'll just omit them from the entirety. Sanitary sewers, I believe Dick Reynolds has already started to address that. He gave his comments. I think I forwarded those to everybody. As this was phase 2 was underway at the time. It's definitely completed now. And the whole planning process will be as we evolve. Times and dates. Be eliminated from Pioneer Valley from getting assistance. Public participation, that's something we can start working on, try to get something set up so we can get at least one meeting. A couple would be nice to have the public come in, get their thoughts on what they'd like to see preserved and open spaces.
Do we still have the press release from when you guys did it the last time?
I'm sure we do, We'll make sure we embellish it a little bit
Right.
and get it to all the.
Right.
It was an 11-member committee last time. They met 8 times. So we'll count every time we meet and we'll just change that. The public survey, I don't know, do you guys wanna go with the Survey Monkey again, as far as the public survey? Do you wanna just go with Michelle through her? We discussed using the, would be the taxes.
We could do it through the tax bill, or we could do it through this, annual census.
I mean,
But if we're gonna do it through the tax bill, we gotta do it ASAP.
so we wanna do that then?
That, I think.
Prioritize that?
Right, if.
Let's get that out of the
If
way.
we've already had help with the questions, then we can,
Probably get a bigger response than we would for Survey Monkey too.
right.
Survey Monkey was a lot of work, we got limited response. We got enough, but we worked for it.
Now, did you get a copy of the questions? That we were,
No,
okay.
do you have a copy of that?
No, I didn't either.
Oh.
So, see who,
Right, you-
has those questions.
It was 1, 2, 3, they just had 3 meetings with, public meetings with Open Space Committee last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 public meetings with the different departments. And what we talked about was to have, instead of having 5 different meetings, to have 1 or maybe 2 meetings to get all the departments to come into our meeting. So we were talking
Yeah,
about.
I think that's a lot easier. A lot easier, just pick a night that, most boards meet on Tuesday,
Tuesday seems to
Wednesday,
be, yeah, or like-
you know. Maybe we did a Thursday night, something like that.
Before we go too far, who's gonna talk to Michelle about getting the survey?
I can talk to Michelle.
And I'll see if I can get the questions, if you can't get them,
Okay.
I'm certain I can get them.
Questions? Talk to Michelle.
This whole section 3, community settings, nothing has really changed. It's since the inception. That whole section is pretty much the same. Population characteristics, we can't change that because the 2020 survey is not out yet. It's 1990, 2000, 2010. So this whole section remains the same, unless we can tweak it, you know, in any information we can pick up on the web. Household income and property.
It was 2005 or something.
The total, 15% of students enrolled within the Southwick Town Regional School District participate in the free and reduced lunch program. I know we can find the new figures on that, but
Just contact the school.
I think that they-
actually I didn't have the schools down here with it.
And now it's not just free lunch and breakfast, right?
Right.
And you're just looking for a percentage number, Dennis?
Yeah, just to change the number to update it to what the latest is, the most recent.
Do we need
Economic.
anything else from the school or just that?
So far, just that, but there probably will be more. Economic character, Craig, do you think employment trends, do you know where to find that information? It's the Massachusetts Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development. This was 2010, if we could update that to,
Okay.
if they have it.
Let me,
It might not be, it might not do it till 2020.
look at these, is that a single page there or is it? multiple?
Well, it breaks it down to the,
So, I just need a copy of that and I'll bird dog it. Okay.
land use changes. It tells the source right on here where they got the information from, so Mass GIS, McDonald Land Use Data. We should be able to go on there and just add another column, I would think. Anybody wanna,
I don't know if I have access. I don't know.
it's all on this computer.
I'll take a crack at it. You know.
Housing prices, where would we find what the median home price is for single family home?
Register of deeds, we should have that, and we should probably get it right from the assessors. Did somebody talk to the assessors?
Not yet, no. But Sid, if you write all these down, we'll know where to go for the. So for the price of a median home, that would be through the assessor's office?
Assessors, or we could get it right off from, they could get it right from the registry of deeds. I think he produces that annually, he sends it out.
Yeah, okay, good, great. Infrastructure, there's the Route 57, of course, the DPW is helping us update all of that. And the redundant well, that's been installed since this. Sewage systems, we need to have the DPW update us on that. I don't know if the sewer implementation committee, do they have any information, or are they?
Randy's on that committee as ex officio member, so between Dick and Randy, we can get all the information.
He gave us a lot of this in the subdivisions, any new subdivisions. The phase growth bylaw, that no longer exists, correct? That's, I think Alan's already put that in there all over
We can
that.
put that all on Alan's list.
This whole section, environmental inventory, looks like it's pretty good, just the way it is. We just have to do some updating with the flood hazard areas. The maps have been updated.
Don't we get those sent to us, Dennis, the new flood maps? Doesn't the building inspector
Building inspector is in charge of that, yeah.
gets that? Because those are all updated because all the new insurance.
You know,
It's-
they digitized them, but they didn't update anything.
Oh, okay.
Ask Craig. He had to hire a surveyor to go out, no matter dams or, they had to, that's why we're getting so many calls, people are
Yeah,
saying,
a lot of stuff goes back to Bud, Huntley and Associates when they were.
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
That's a
It's
long
it's
time
awful.
ago.
It is awful. It should be updated.
Yeah.
they should be, but they tell us if they want them updated, the town will pay for it. Amherst paid for theirs, but it was, hundreds of thousands of dollars to redo the
Oh,
flood.
God, yeah. It's gotta be.
That's like when we had the meeting, was it yesterday, or the day before, about the mitigating for climate change, the
Yeah.
MVP,
Right.
vulnerability preparedness. And I said, well, the 100-year storm is a big problem because everybody plans for the 100-year storm, which happens several times a year now.
Right.
He said, well, your town could do that under its bylaws, they could change that. We're gonna change 100, every town gonna make it there, it doesn't make any sense for
No,
us to do that.
no.
All right, the chapter 61 program, we'll have to update that, we can get that information from the assessors. Plus, I'd like to add the portion about how we surveyed the different land use boards to ask them what their 3 priorities were.
Yeah.
Add that to this.
Yeah.
So, assessor's information. The Granville Gorge, I'm not sure if we should change that. There's no more diving in there anymore. Filled in, the whole gorge is filled in. We need to get Park and Rec to work on their portion of this, the bike trail and things like that.
Okay.
Update all of
Just
that.
all of ours updated?
Yeah, that would be
You
great.
got that page to give David?
Sure.
It's the best way.
There's the bike trail.
Thank you. Sure.
So what do you got, David? You got Wally Park, that's new. And were you doing the programs for the kids that consolidated 10 years ago? 6 years?
Kara does something in the summers in the morning. I'm not sure it's during the school year.
Okay.
Description of process, that's just how many meetings we had and the dates on them. That'll be updated as we go along. Community survey results, we won't have those until they come back. That's why it'd be good to get that portion done as soon as
Yep.
possible. Now, this is the portion we really need to just gut, I think we need to just gut this whole section 7 analysis of needs. There's all of these places that either properties that we don't know if they exist or they're not preservable, and we have, that they need to be protected, and we don't even know where some of them are, so
Yeah.
I think this whole thing needs to be gutted and come up with some new places that we'd like to preserve, something that's realistic.
3 or 4 ones that we know about are realistic and have some.
Yeah, we got the list.
I mean, this goes back to
Right.
your original plan probably,
Right.
I mean, it sounds good on here, but a lot of this stuff is just not available anymore. I wouldn't wanna give up on the Sodom Mountain Trail, that's still a possibility. Yeah. We started getting it going again with the Open Space Committee, and people from Granville all came in and said, oh yeah, we're gonna have a trail on top of the mountain, that's great. Well, first we gotta go to the landowners and make sure we can use their property. Oh, really? Yeah. Cause, Fred Mason is part of that, and Fred's a good guy, and he wouldn't mind if people walked across his property if they asked permission, but
Yeah.
people, I can't blame them, they don't want them just walking over the property without having, and there are, things so you're not liable if somebody gets hurt on your property, there are certain provisions in it if they sign agreements, so maybe we can get that going again, but the rest of the stuff,
Well, that was pretty interesting when you had the young lady in about the Metacomet Trail,
yes,
and she talked about
About
how
the
that
liability,
liability
yeah.
issue is waived.
yeah.
There's no
I
liability
wasn't really
against.
positive about that until she,
Yeah, so that was very interesting, because, you're always concerned about liability when,
I guess we got the grant for that too.
yeah, so
So,
that's good.
But what blew some of that up, if you remember, was the fellow with the handicap issue.
I kind of
Because
remember him.
he started indicating that, 300 feet either side of center line of this was going to be protected in some way where, it really hamstrung the landowners, so
Well, it happened in Sofanowski, we wanted to put a trail out to the,
That's right.
so people could sit by the brook, sit by the
jeez.
ponds out there and look at it, and we're just gonna have a gravel trail, it seemed nice. He put a kibosh to it, we couldn't do it the way he insisted it on being done, it was not feasible to do it that way.
He was pretty inflexible.
Yeah. But he's not around anymore, maybe, if grant monies come out there, we can, because this is a specific grant for the trailhead to have handicapped accessible parking and handicapped accessible ADA pathway to get there. A couple of switchbacks so it's not too steep. I'm sure you'd find something wrong with that too, but. Summary of community's needs, we're not gonna have that until we get our surveys back and all our public input. It's just what they wanted last time. And goals and objectives, is that what, no, I thought the goals and objectives were good. It's a 7-year action plan that Gene thought really needed updated. It's the horizontal portion. So if everybody could just take a look at what we'd like to do for our 7-year action plan. Start working on that right away too. They have adopt Article 97 warrant, a town meeting for Prifty Park. Did that ever happen?
To, to turn it into an
To turn it
official
into an
park.
Park, yeah. No,
I'm not sure on that one, Dennis.
I know the Park and Rec was, had a.
I don't think we technically did a lot because then we would have had to have the
for-
ADA
for-
things
For a time
to,
there, it was
everything.
going in that
We-
direction. and
We met out there and then we,
CPA granted some money. I think part of the agreement was that they would permanently protect the park. I don't know about the entire park, but at least
Yeah.
the playscape area.
yeah.
I don't know if that ever happened,
Well,
but certainly should have.
Playscape area is now legal and ADA
Yeah.
compliant, so that's open.
But I know
But I
when
think when we met to, where they were talking about doing other things, once we figured out how we had to make everything ADA compliant with sidewalks and
for the
parking,
entire area.
there was no land left because the basketball court is our overflow parking for the town hall. You know, so it's really, we're kind of limited out there. We did have one individual who owns next door who said he would consider selling land to the town, you know, for parking, so that's gonna be something for the future, you know.
So I guess that either we get rid of it or do something about it, but that's, we should act on the stuff that's in here. So I'm thinking, what's the goal for our next meeting, to have done for our next meeting? Well, we don't have another meeting set up yet, but what do you think?
I have October 11th, maybe?
October 11th?
What day of the week is it?
I don't know.
It's
It's
a
a
Thursday.
I didn't bring my
Is
phone.
it?
It's
Oh,
Thursday.
It's a
sorry.
Thursday. Calendar's up there.
Thursday.
Thursday.
So what are we gonna try to accomplish for the next meeting?
do we have a consultant coming in or lined up or what's going on with that?
Well, what do we need the consultant for?
Didn't we have to have somebody?
No,
Oh, we-
no, I
I
mean,
think the next consultant we're having would probably be for the maps, get cartographics in here,
right.
see what
I
they
mean,
can do.
I thought we were trying to reduce the cost.
Yeah, I didn't know if
You
we
know,
still had to have
and-
somebody.
No, all we gotta do is make sure what we're doing is okay with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. If we submit something to them and they say.
Trying
yeah,
to eliminate the subcontractor
Right.
here, basically.
Right, so I mean, we have monies available to use to bring in
And
somebody.
it's probably gonna cost several $1,000s for the maps to get those.
Oh, absolutely,
updated.
absolutely. But,
Do you wanna try to get them in for the next meeting, cartographics, or do you wanna try to wrap up what we're, getting the survey out and,
well, we each got kind of a little assignment here to do, you know?
Well, see
I mean,
if-
we could call
See
cartographics
if we
and
get
see
them
if
in, yeah.
they'd like to come in and,
Mhm.
you know?
When do the tax bills get mailed?
Well, we haven't set the tax rate yet, but Michelle is a Marine and
Yeah.
she likes to get it out. It's not like years ago where you got it December 1st and you paid it by December 31st. Now Michelle sometimes can get out in October,
Ducks over.
you know. So that's why we'll have to move quickly on that. So I'll talk to her tomorrow and if she's in, and I'll see where those questions are. And hopefully, we have the questions. And set that up and then, you know, talk to cartographics and see if somebody wants to come down from New Hampshire and meet with us, you know? Meet with this committee.
That's the route of New Hampshire.
Yeah, they're out of New Hampshire, but I mean, they do a lot of work in Mass. Well, they're our vendor, so I'm sure they wanna keep us happy.
So will they come with a proposal or? won't
Well,
they?
I mean, we could just maybe contact them ahead of time and say, this is what our committee is looking at. If you wanted to come down and talk to us about what your firm, maybe the firm has done work like this,
I wouldn't doubt they've done it before.
you know?
And they have all the information. They have everything, pretty much everything we need.
So we don't owe them anything?
Do you still pay them on a yearly
We,
basis?
yeah, we were on
I
a
mean,
hundred.
we wouldn't
All
owe
the
them any
information.
information with disrespect to them doing their job. I mean,
They should have it.
Yeah, we could just,
We'll send them, I'll send them a copy of the book to show the maps that are in there.
that what we're trying to achieve, and if they'd like to come to our next meeting and talk about, what they can do for us.
that would be good, I guess, huh? Yeah.
You know,
That could be the biggest expense, just the mapping.
and David's gonna look at Park and Rec, make us a list. David's gonna do planning board with Alan.
Yeah, I can make sure he's, yep.
Greg's got an
Whatever's going on.
assignment, everybody's got an assignment.
Yeah, if you take, when's your next meeting, Park and Rec?
2 weeks from
If you could
last
put on
week.
the agenda, you know, for the goals and objectives, so you guys could look at it and see how you wanna update or change,
Okay,
that'd be great. Who doesn't have an assignment? We gotta,
Yeah. I mean, the only one I got is really to follow up with Alan, make sure he's doing whatever we've asked him to do, so, but, so if there's more, so.
we'll think of something for
All
you.
right, sounds good.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you bring that report from Alan, you're all
Yeah, right.
set.
There you go.
That'll be your job, you know?
All right, that sounds good.
Fantastic.
You think Alan would, come to one of our, little get-togethers and,
I think we could talk.
you know, he's probably done this before in Simsbury, hasn't
He's been through, he knows all about it. Yeah, it's a little different in Connecticut, but it's
he? Yeah.
kind of the same. But hopefully he's healed up from all his injuries.
Yeah.
He was still all bandaged up last night, so.
He fell again, or?
I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's still.
We didn't get the results back from the MRIs yet, but he just got surgery on his left hand because he broke that last year, broke it in 3 places, and they had to cut it and tie it and do all these things. Over the weekend, he tripped over his wife's shoes and grabbed to reach on with his other hand, his watch filleted his arm. And of course, he doesn't go to the doctors. He was at Applebee's having dinner, and the thing starts to swell up like a basketball in his arm, so he had a hematoma. Then they went and did some kind of MRIs on it.
Oh, yeah.
He never complains. He never complains. The guy never.
Could you pass this around and sign it, please? Let me get a pen. Does everybody have a pen?
And we're signing
Oh,
it?
great.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please, to approve the minutes. Other
Sid, do
than
you have any
that.
questions? And we'll go through anything that, you know, later on.
Actually, I'm gonna do it with what I have, and then I'm gonna show it to you, if you don't mind.
But you're comfortable, everybody's
Yeah.
information here?
Yep,
Great.
get everybody's jobs that they're going to do.
I just got back from Westfield taking pictures of the witches. Cindy and the Whip City Witches.
Yeah, were they performing tonight?
They're practicing up and they had all their outfits on, all their garb and publicity pictures.
Are they getting ready for Granville, or are they doing
Is
something
that the
before
first
that?
one?
Phil Harvest Fair.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Columbus
yeah.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
They look great.
That's funniest thing is driving up Granville Road. Cindy was out in full costume at the side of the road.
I missed that.
It was a
Sanders
sight.
and Sisters.
It was a sight from a distance, you know?
Anybody has any questions or anything, email me anytime. We can, you don't have to just have it at the meetings. If you got come up with an idea or something, we can implement it right between and as we go along. You're gonna bring this to the selectmen, get them to input on the,
Yeah. Do we wanna set up a date for, to start meeting with boards?
might as well.
You know, like at sometime in October,
This time of year is good, people are off their vacations.
Thursday night, is that good?
Thursday night would work.
How about, how about if we kind of arrange it with our next meeting? You know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone,
Why not, yeah.
all right? Have like a hearing at 6,
Mm-hmm,
and then we have our meeting afterwards?
sounds good.
That would
So
be
maybe,
appreciated.
maybe if we do it later in October, it'd give us a little more time.
You wanna move it up, move it back a couple of weeks and then,
Yeah, instead of the 11th, if we did it, I don't know, the 18th or the 25th. You know, give it time to get some information together and submit it to you, Dennis,
yeah.
what our homework is and see about
Does anybody have a
cartographic.
preferred date?
Probably 25th, just so I can make sure ours is done by then.
25th then?
Yeah.
It'll be 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, right? So-
Yeah, and we can see if we got what you sent out the last time for a press release.
Yeah.
Or told people.
Yeah.
What month?
October. Or maybe we can have Carl kinda write it up.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's good at that stuff. Yeah.
We'll give Carl something to do.
So we won't have anything on the 11th, just 25th?
Yeah, just if we do 25th, 6
25th.
o'clock in the auditorium, you know, based on that being available, it should be.
Should be, yeah.
And
I'll
so
look tomorrow.
do it at 6 o'clock, and we'll invite, Park and Rec, Planning Board, Conservation,
All the land use boards. and
Sewer,
Anybody who wants to come.
and
invite them all.
anybody else that wants to come,
Yeah,
you know? What the heck, we'll invite the department heads too, right?
sure.
DPW, Building Inspector, Board of Health,
Absolutely.
have them all, and then we'll kill all these birds with one stone
Yeah,
and,
that's good.
and then have our meeting afterwards. And if we can get cartographics to come at 7 o'clock, or even let them sit through the hearing.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal. I think we can do this. Famous last words.
Well, at least you can't accuse us of not trying, right?
Well, like we said, it's gonna go to Boston. They're gonna find something no matter what we do.
They have,
to find
job
something.
security, Dennis, they got, you know, they just approved everything, they wouldn't have a job, so they have to torture us a little bit. Did you guys have a lot of problems the last time, or when you did it?
With Boston?
Little stuff, little things.
Yeah.
Little stuff kept coming back.
Yeah, nothing jumps out, but it did come back a couple times, you're right.
Yeah. She had maybe three times that they had to redo some things that were missing or weren't put in there properly. I'll go back and get the emails too and find out. I'm sure it'll change though.
There was a big update last time though, right? I mean, the one previous to that, from like the 2009 to 2012, that was a pretty big update.
And if I remember
I
correctly,
think this one would be
if you
less.
have it, it hasn't been approved yet, it's conditionally approved if you have it in there.
Yeah,
Even if it's not approved, you can
okay.
start applying for
oh,
grants and
okay,
stuff, so
all right.
It's not an all or nothing, I believe, it's, they can conditionally then unconditionally approve it, I think that's what they did last time. That's why they all still say final draft on them.
Okay. Well, a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank everybody for coming.
Dennis, excellent work.
Yep.
Excellent work.
Thanks. With the teamwork, we'll get this done.
Yeah.
Tom, could you spell your last name?
STADNICK.
Aye. All right. Thank you. I'll make sure your folder's corrected. All right, so we got everybody's signature.
Yeah.
But it seems to me there's gotta be intermittent screen, they're on the screen.
There is, yeah.